you've been excited to tell your story.
Yes, and it's been a long time coming.
Oh, yeah.
Weighing 376 pounds is shocking. And I'm comfortable with saying it. And it's because, you know, I know that I don't look like I weigh that much. I mean, that's almost 400 pounds. I know I don't look like that. I don't look like someone on TV that is, you know, not mobile or anything like that. I used to think that people that were morbidly obese were the people like on My 600-Pound Life, people that couldn't walk or they needed people to bathe them or to, you know, basically take care of them solely. So I never really considered myself morbidly obese, but I mean, I am. I wanted to blame my parents, really, especially my mother. I wanted her to like be one of those parents that you can't have cakes and cookies and no candy and stuff like that, but she wasn't like that. And I understand why, because that's how she was raised, so she wanted to make sure that her children didn't, you know, have to go through that.
Say it's probably a lot of things me and your dad could have did to prevent it, you know.
Well, I mean, like, was it like...
Tried to prevent it anyway.
I know, but I'm saying, like, was it that, you know, I guess maybe was it not, like, monitored, my eating habits, or was it like I was sneaking food or stuff like that?
It was really pretty much not monitored. Oh, no, Nate, you can't have that. Well, go ahead on and get it, you know. Junk food in the house. You know, just, y'all ate pretty much what y'all wanted to eat. Whenever you wanted to.
I appreciate both my parents, their willingness to try anything, whether or not I agree with it or not. They used a lot of reverse psychology, but it didn't really work for me. My childhood was very good for the most part. I was an active, spoiled brat, really. I don't ever remember not getting anything that I ever asked for. Probably from the 2nd grade till about the 8th grade, I dealt with a lot of teasing, you know, at school, and because of my weight, I was overweight, and I was bigger than all the rest of the kids, so it was very challenging. The 8th grade was the worst. I remember I was at a new school. I was at STACEY high school, and I didn't know any of those people, and I used to walk and they used to make noises, and they would just, I couldn't fit in the desk. People would say stuff like that.
So I met Najisha in the 8th grade. She was very mean to me, and I was very mean to her too. I needed to get a number from one of our other classmates. So I called Najisha. I had her number was in one of my books. I don't know why. And I called her. I said, "Hey, do you have such and such number?" And she was like, "Yeah, I do. How are you? How's the summer going?" Like, she was so sweet. Like, this was not the same girl that I went to school with. So I was like, you know what? I like you. So we talked. We used to stay on the phone till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And she was just like my best friend. So in high school, like, Najisha was very likable. Everyone liked Najisha. People did talk about Najisha. They talked about everybody. And But after, it's really like, that was really like the 8th grade. And I think that was because we all was in high school. You know, our school was kind of set up different from the traditional school. So the 8th graders was at the high school. So I think that had a lot to do with it. But in the 9th grade, it's just like when we came back, everyone was a little more mature. We all became like, I don't want to say a family, but we all was cool with each other.
And kids are not nice at all. So I've been down that road. So when you were in that predicament, of course, you know, to make sure you have this, to make sure you was content with other things when you really wasn't content with yourself. And I know you weren't content with yourself because I know how I felt. Those things don't substitute you being content with yourself.
I do not want to lose our friendship
Facts.
over no BS.
Facts.
Like, for real.
Facts.
Like, for real, for real.
Facts.
Because I really consider you my friend.
Right.
But I need for you to show me that you my friend, because lately I have not been seeing that. Like, even after everything went down the other night, Avery, you didn't even check on me. Like, realistically,
No,
I don't know what you had going on.
I
tonight,
did. No, I did because
last
I
year
knew
when
you.
you was in the hot seat, I still called
You
and I still
did.
checked on you.
You did.
You didn't respond, but I still checked
You
on
did.
you. At this point, my friendship with Avery is almost non-existent.
I can definitely say that I have always been accepted, but it's just a weird scenario because it's almost like I was the kid that I was being teased, but I would basically piggyback off of that and join them. You know, like, it doesn't really bother me. You know, I'm gonna make fun of myself too, and that was really the only way that I was able to cope. So I never had problems making friends. I never had problems with popularity, anything like that with my peers. It's just that it's almost like they would be mean to me one minute and then the next minute, you know, they weren't.
I mean, like, how old was I right there?
Like, almost 3.
You don't think Bronx and Zion didn't look like that when they was 3?
No. You were overweight. From little all the way up.
I mean, I guess.
I was too, you know, that's a gene. Because I was definitely overweight.
Yeah, but I stayed that
And
way.
Keisha was too.
Everybody else lost it.
Well, I was sick because I lost mine. I probably would be still battling the same thing. Keisha got tired of it and she went through the 10th grade thing where she just, you know, wasn't eating and just everything to keep it off of her. Exercising and definitely wasn't making it come back. Try to keep it off of her.
So when it comes to me being overweight and my family dynamics, it was almost like we didn't talk about it or anything like that. My sister and I there's a big age gap between us, and being that my mother was overweight, my sister was overweight, I was overweight, it's almost like they treated my obesity as like, oh, that's just part of, you know, how she's gonna be, she'll lose it, you know. And so basically year went by after year and year and year, and I didn't get any smaller. I didn't lose any weight. I got bigger, actually.
Moving on to college or whatever, I noticed Najah weight getting bigger, but I didn't say anything because my weight got bigger. So I'm like, that's just, we growing into ourselves. Like even she was like, Devonta, you could put a little weight on you. Now you're growing into yourself. So I never really realized how much weight that she put on until I think when she opened up her shop. I came down because I was coming down a little more often because when I left Anniston, I was out. I was coming back for Christmas, Thanksgiving, So, and I was like, oh, she has gained a little weight.
I guess I'm asking like how you feel as a parent,
You being obese.
Yeah.
Well, of course you don't want your children to be obese, and you try and you will spoil and you have your way, and I go ahead on and give it to you when later on it's time to get up, went on. I shouldn't have, the shouldn't have thing, but, Naja, let's do this and that. That's just like giving your children, pretty much what they want, whether it's good or bad for them, and then you get to a point to where you see that it's not good for them.
I feel like my parents and my sister, because she's so much older than me, I feel like they all did everything in their possible power to make me okay by material things and love and so many things. I always had the newest of everything, the best clothes of what I could fit in. I had a car when I was 16. I actually had 3 cars between the age of 16 and college and everything. I felt like they went above and beyond because they knew that I was broken and that obesity had taken over my life. Currently, I'm epileptic. That came about probably like when I was 17 years old out of nowhere. So that would definitely be the first thing.
We was in 11th grade. Najisha had she had a seizure in one of her classes, and it was like the talk of the school. Not like in a bad way, but everyone was concerned, like, oh my God, Najisha had she had a seizure.
Epilepsy, they started out when I was about 17 or 18. Those medications have the most side effects. For example, here I take Keppra. Well, this is probably the 6th medication for seizures that I have tried during the duration of the beginning and up until now. It took a long time for them to get a combination that worked for me because I was in school, and these medications have a lot of side effects. For example, currently I'm on like the Keppra, like I said. Well, it's 750 milligrams. Well, yes, this is only one medication, but I have to take 2 of them in the morning and 2 of them at night. So even though that's, one pill, the milligrams, the dosage is harsh. This causes joint.
Just contribute. The high dosage is because of your weight.
Yes. The high dosage is because of my weight completely. The bigger you are, this is with anyone, the bigger you are, the more they have to give to you because the medication absorbs into your fat immediately and it doesn't actually get to you and serve its purpose. So the bigger I got, the higher the dosage. I have high blood pressure, so this is a high blood pressure medicine. Here is Neurontin. This is 300 milligrams. Cyclobenzar is the name. It's a muscle relaxer, actually. This is bupropion, 150 milligrams. Okay, Topamax. This is 100 milligrams. This one is Maxol. So altogether, right now, the regimen that I'm on, it's about 9 different medications, but about 20-ish pills a day, all at high dosages. The cause of that is because I am so overweight. Doctors have told me that if I lose weight, the dosage can come down. Whether or not I'll always have to take these medications or not, it's unknown. Maybe some of the medications like high blood pressure I wouldn't have to take, but at least I wouldn't have to take such high dosages. Those medications make me very drowsy, sleepy. Sometimes I can't remember things. It's a challenge. Every day is a challenge, and it makes me feel really bad. And really, honestly, no regimen of these medications have, gave me any type of quality of life.
Cassandra James is smart, sexy, and single.
Ron?
Damn, you even sexier than I remember.
Rekindling a spicy relationship from her past is only the beginning of a dangerous downward spiral.
We can't do this, Ty. You're my best friend's man.
You used to be the love of my life.
I can't do this anymore. You married, Ron.
I see how my man looks at you.
But now?
I'm pregnant, and I'm not keeping it.
Do not kill my baby.
Please don't do this.
Addiction. A novel by G. Nez.
You excited about the surgery?
Yeah. I'm a little nervous, but...
Well, that's to be expected. But it's going to be good, and you're going to prosper from everything you're having to do, and it's going to work out for you.
What really did it for me, and especially these medications and my weight, I have a sorority sister. My sister, she's a pharmacist, and one time just recently I went to the hospital because sometimes I have migraines so severe that none of these medications work. So I have to go and get a shot, something that's, more rapid to ease the pain. And basically I consult in her with medications and stuff. She knows, of course. And she said, well, Najah, why on earth are you on those high dosages like that? They wouldn't give that to an elephant. I said, you're right. Well, I hurried up and ended that conversation because I had to reflect on that. She loves me. That's my sorority sister. That's my sister. She just had no idea that I weighed that amount of weight. And so that was my moment. That was the moment. And I didn't say anything. My mom was with me. She didn't say anything. And I just sat there in silence, like, oh, wow. Like, I've really let myself get to this where people would compare my weight to an elephant. I said to myself, oh, boy, you got a lot to do. Because if you don't do something about this, you're going to die. And I knew in that very moment, I can't compare myself to anyone else or anyone else's weight loss journey. But that was my moment. I said, you know what? I wasn't afraid to admit that I needed help. I have tried to get rid of the weight. Sometimes I didn't. Sometimes I tried over and over and over again. But I said then, I admitted it. I said, I need help. I need help. I cannot do this on my own. The weight loss surgery that I'm have, in particular, is the sleeve gastrectomy, also known as VSG. it's a newer weight loss surgery, but not really. The VSG surgery was specifically for people that were morbidly obese, so obese that it was a 2-part surgery. So what the surgeons would do was they would give them the VSG, the sleeve, first in order for them to lose a significant amount of weight so that safely they can operate on them to do the gastric bypass. So it used to be a 2-part surgery, and I believe they still do it that way, but it has so many great results that it became a popular trend. I decided to have that particular surgery because it had the least side effects. The surgery was not extensive. It's laparoscopic. And I had a concern about, because I already have a lot of health problems, the gastric bypass surgery has so many negative things about it. You know, a lot of people get sicker, or sick, that maybe weren't sick before. Their teeth rot. Their hair falls out sometimes. It's a very extensive process, and it's because you lose the weight so quickly, and it causes a lack of nutrition. And so I have a lot of people that I know personally that have been through this process with the gastric bypass, and it also has a very high regain weight, which basically means that more people gain their weight back with that gastric bypass surgery. I'm very excited about the sleeve. Basically, my procedure is going to entail, they're going to cut about almost about 80% of my stomach. This is the only surgery like this. They're going to cut about 80% of my stomach, and they're going to leave a sleeve-shaped stomach similar to about the size of a small to medium banana. So right now, everyone's stomach is kind of the size of a mason jar. So if you can imagine that, so it's going to go from about a mason jar to a small to medium banana, and it also decreases your hunger. So basically, even if you wanted to overeat, you couldn't. You would get sick.
You being overweight or whatever, and it's a new time, and technology and all this stuff, so this is a newer surgery, and honestly you really haven't said too much about it as far as being scared or anything. I actually thought that you would have been more worried and concerned.
Yeah, because I'm a worrywart about everything.
Right,
yeah.
but you but you haven't. So
I have, Naja, I'm really at peace with this, because it's this is my child. Who don't want your child to be healthier, have more self-confidence, physically, mentally? She can come off some of these medicines. Thank you, Jesus. I'm glad this is something you pray for, that she find this within herself to do for herself. So I'm happy about this. I am totally happy about this. And it haven't bothered me. I've prayed about it. I've asked for it for a long time. So to me, this, thank God they do have a procedure. I didn't like that gastric bypass. This is for me. And it should be for you too, because it's this is something that can help her, because people don't understand. Oh, she can lose weight. Oh, she can lose weight. All you do is push yourself. Oh, how many times, people stereotype and look at everybody is totally different. Their will, their self-confidence, their self-esteem. You get to a point in your life where, hey, and then that's like a bad relationship, a bad marriage. You have to get to a point in your life, you say, hey, I got to do something about my situation.
So basically, you have just been praying that I would have an aha moment. And
no, not an
decide
aha
something to
moment.
do.
I just was praying that you will one day come to the point to where, you know, I can't do this. You have tried. I've seen you try. You know, I can't do this. Sometimes we have to have help.
So, after seeing my friend go through so much stuff through high school, so much stuff through college, so many losing your father right before graduating college.
A month before I finished what he wanted me to do, he was gone. He was gone, and I questioned God. Although I know that I shouldn't have, but I don't know. I am so grateful for the relationship that I had with my father, and everything he instilled in me, I use it daily. And I just, you know, he was planning on retiring after I graduated, and I felt so bad. I felt terrible.
You know, if she would have been healthy, she would have graduated a year early. She had to sit out of school for a whole year. Do I think Nasia should have this surgery? Again, I'm gonna let you answer the question. When you wake up every day, do you have to take a whole bunch of medicine? Do you have to worry about if you drive your car that you may have a seizure, or do you wake up breathing hard because you carrying around, you know, X amount of pounds, or, you know, are you able to do your job without feeling extra tired? Like, I watch, Nasia loves fashion. She loves, when I tell you that baby loves fashion, she loves fashion. So when she helps me on my sets, she has to work extra hard to make sure that she moves to get everything that needs to be done, so she doesn't look like or even feel like that she's not moving as fast as a quote unquote a normal person. So again, you asked me the question, do I think Nasia needs to have this surgery? Yes, she needs to have this surgery, because I want my friend to have a chance to live a life without having to order all her clothes online. Without being able to, if you need to run into the mall to get a pair of jeans for a job interview, that you can pick up something. So do I want my friend to have this surgery? Yes. I want my friend to be able to go to sleep and not having to breathe hard or sleep a certain way because she can't sleep. She sleep one way, maybe she's breathing too hard or she can't breathe. Do I want my friend to have the surgery? Yes, because this surgery can stop her from having seizures. Maybe get her off some of this medication. Give her, even if she can't get off of it, maybe make some of the doses come down. So you ask me, do I want Nasia to have this surgery? My answer is yes. Am I afraid of Nasia to have this surgery? Yes.
Bariatric surgery and weight loss surgery has a terrible stigma about it being the easy way out, the lazy way out, the quick fix. And, you know, in the beginning of this process with my weight loss journey, I kind of felt like that too. And I know it's, you know, hypocritical of me, but, you know, I was just like, well, you know what? Who cares? You know, people pay for plastic surgery. They pay for things to get fixed all the time. So I almost compared this weight loss surgery to plastic surgery. They're nothing. They're not even the same arena. And so I have a lot of people around me, sorority sisters dietitians I have around me, nurses, all types of fitness gurus. And that's a conversation that, you know, that we talk about often, but I can understand the stigma. But it's just almost like a closed book. People don't know my story. They don't know that all these medications that I'm on, some of them are steroids. Some of them make me feel terrible to where I don't have any quality of life, or cause pain and cause all these types of things. So it's not as easy for me to just get up out of the bed and go exercise. It's a challenge. Even though I look like I have no problem with physical activity, it's a challenge. It's a challenge every day. And I have people that are very close to me that kind of feel like that. They compare me to other people and they say, well, so-and-so's lost 60 pounds just by walking, and so-and-so did this, and you just got to stop, push back from the table and this, that, and the third. And it's not like I haven't tried. I've tried consistently and inconsistently. That's been a part of my life for 28 years. But the stigma definitely is there, and it doesn't feel good.
You mean to tell me you would rather for your friend or your family member to die than to have a surgery that can change their life? What's the difference in having brain surgery to save your life? What's the difference into having, if you're having a heart attack, they're going in and working on your heart to change your life? Like, people don't understand. Most people that have weight loss surgery, they need it. It's not something that, it's not going to get lipo. It's not going to get a new booty because you want to look like Nicki Minaj. This is not that kind of surgery. This is a lifestyle change so you can live a healthier life.
How do you feel about, people have been saying things, like some people, they are against, weight loss surgery and bariatric surgery because they think that it's, an easy way out, and, they really don't. I mean, because I've experienced that during this process. Why are you, why would you do that? Why would you have to go through a surgery to do that? Or if you've lost weight already to get the surgery, why? That means you can keep on losing weight.
That's not necessarily so, people. I mean, people have their own personal judgment on that. That's just like I said before. Oh, you can lose weight, you can do this, you can do that. But sometimes we have to have help. And when I was coming up, we didn't even have none of this stuff.
But I felt like my own doctor kind of felt like that. Like, yeah. I felt...
And thank God we have the medical technology these days to help. What about a long time ago when I was...
but you're not understanding what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is, from my initial consultation all the way up until now, I just felt like I was being stereotyped. I just felt like I was being stereotyped. Basically, like I feel like a lot of doctors and a lot of people, they think that every obese person or overweight person, sits up and eats large pizzas and, 2-liter drinks and stuff like that. But that's not true.
I know that's not true.
I know, but I'm saying I felt like that's kind of how she felt, and basically she didn't acknowledge how far I've come. But then I kind of feel like other people felt like that too. But it's just.
But
and even though you're saying that well, I was overweight when I was a kid, but you still don't understand because you didn't have to go through. I'm like, you didn't stay big. Yes, you got sick, and that's how you lost your weight. But what if you hadn't got sick?
I might have still been obese until I came to the point within myself, like I just told you, that I'm going to do something about it, whether I need help medically or whether I can do it on my own. People are different. Some people can go out there and they can do it on their own without surgery, and some people can't, So you can't go by what people stereotype. You're on this journey yourself. And if you need a little help to get you started on your journey, although you have accomplished things prior to getting this help and going to continue to accomplish these things afterwards, then you got to go for NAJSHA. That those doctors see all kind of people. Those doctors see people that eat 2 and 3 pizzas at one time. So it's really up to you to take advantage of your journey for yourself.
I mean,
I understand that. I do. And that's kind of, I don't know, I feel like that's the way my doctor, she kept saying and kept comparing me to other people and other stories. And I'm just like, I've stopped smoking. I had to lose all this weight before they even told me that I could have the surgery.
But who are you losing weight for?
Myself. But I was so devastated in that last doctor's appointment because it was a possibility that she was going to push my surgery back because I didn't lose all that weight. Now, it was almost 40 pounds that I had to lose. I mean, I haven't been going through this process for long. It's only been a couple of months. And, all the rest of my doctors, kind of felt that was a little far-fetched for me to have, lose all that weight. And I kind of felt like that too. But she did not acknowledge that I tried.
You're going to have to say, everybody's different, and you're not going to get applause from people through this situation. Like you say, some people going to say, why you kind of going to have surgery, and this, that, and the third, and the doctor's even going to say, nothing like you say.
I know, but now I'm scared because I had a big fiasco in there with her and the intern, and, if it wasn't for my sister, I probably wouldn't, my surgery probably would have been pushed back. That's how awful it was. I mean, I was hyperventilating. It was awful. And it's almost like she needed to see that to know that, oh, well, she's serious about it.
Why like you I feel had like that?
Because, I mean, it was a big miscommunication. She wasn't hearing me. I wasn't hearing her. And I was defensive because here I am thinking, I have done everything that this lady has told me to do.
And of course you're going to be defensive because you're trying to get something that you want to accomplish.
Yes. And, I felt like that she kept comparing, me to other people. And then I had to apologize, of course, because of how I was acting. But it was I just didn't want to be treated like a number. I wanted her to talk to me for, who I am. Every case is different. Every patient is different.
And every doctor do things differently.
So therefore we come to now where I have surgery in a week and a half, and I'm scared because I've ticked this doctor off.
Naja, you and anybody else, whether they made her mad.
That's just
she's
like
a professional.
She is,
she's
but
gonna go in the operating room and do something to you.
No, but
because you ticked her off, you just don't feel you feel uncomfortable. That's what you're saying.
Pretty much, and it's been reports about doctors bad mouthing patients while they're on the operating table. Like, that stuff happens.
Well, you know what? One person controlled that lady's hands, your body, is the good Lord above. So when you go in the operation room, you talk to him. Even though you went through all of that, Naja, and you feel uncomfortable, what do you want out of this procedure? What does this hold for your future and for you? What do you want out of all of this that you've been through?
I mean, it's so many things. I can go on and on. Because
four things that you want to accomplish.
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I'd write a book about all the things that I want out of it, because this is something I'm embarking on a journey that I have never been. I don't know how it feels to be able to sit in an airplane seat comfortably without, having an extender. I don't know how it feels to be, knees not hurting and you could just walk and just, not breathe hard. I have no idea how that feels because I've never experienced it. I just want to be healthy. I want to live longer. And, I just want to be able to look different. I mean, just look different.
Is it more for your appearance or how you feel? Or is it self-confidence? Is it...
I'm just, and I don't want to sound arrogant. And it's so funny because people say this all the time. But I've never really had a problem with
Because you've always put your clothes on. You've always kept yourself up.
I've never had a problem with, I went through a short phase with, school and, being made fun of. But for the most part, my 9th through my 12th grade year of high school was fine. I mean, I was on homecoming court every year. I didn't have a problem with image and dating and popularity and self-confidence. I never had a problem with that at that time.
So do you think maybe that's why you just went on with
ignored it? Yeah, because it was almost like, why? Well, I've got I'm already popular. I'm already on homecoming court. I already got a boyfriend and this, that, and the third. So, I mean, they accept me. Everybody else accepts me. So, maybe this is just the way that I'm supposed to be. And, at that time, that was okay. But the older that I get and, the more problems that I have medically, I mean, it's serious. And this is almost, detrimental that I have this surgery. If I'm going to live long till it's very important. And yes, fashion is my passion. And yes, I'm excited to see what I'm going to look like smaller.
And that comes with your journey of hard work. Yeah. And being able to maintain that.
So yeah, of course I'm excited about my appearance. Yeah. I'm excited about my appearance. I'm excited to be able to go into the store and not have to scramble. And and like you said, people look from the outside and they're like, people call me all day long asking me what to wear and what to this and that and the third. And it seems like as time goes on, it's harder for me, believe it or not, to, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't really care to.
That's that self-confidence.
Yes, but
but
it's not. I don't want anybody to think that it's just me not loving myself, because that's not true. I love myself enough to do something about it. Yeah. So I'm just not comfortable. That's it.
That's a better word.
That's exactly it. I'm not comfortable in my own skin right now, and that's okay, because I love myself enough to do something about it.
So the winning question is, the magic question is, how much weight do you want to lose? What are your weight loss goals? And I know that I've did so much research that all these people are so excited. I'm excited too, but they'll put their name and they'll put like sleeved, because it's a sleeved, and they put their highest weight, their current weight, their goal weight. And I don't have any of that. I know that I need to lose it. My goal is to lose at least 200 pounds, if not more. That's what I'm supposed to lose. Going by my height, my weight, and me being a female, with this surgery, I'm projected to lose at least about 100 or so pounds. I'm supposed to technically be around about 226. So I want to lose more. I want to get out of the maybe, just barely at the 2s or just right up underneath it. But I'm excited. I'm excited to start this new journey. I've already been taking so many steps towards this by choosing healthier habits, by my choices in eating, in a lot of other things. You have to adjust so many things. I look at the nutrition labels of everything almost, and basically I've just changed so much. I don't have the desire to eat some of the things that I don't need to be eating. And a lot of people say that you just can't cut out all this stuff at one time. So sometimes you can have it in moderation. I don't plan on even having it all. I've noticed too with my habits that I've already been making, the changes, some of that stuff makes me sick. Like, if I decide to have something fried or fried chicken or something, I haven't had it in months. It makes me sick because your body is not used to those things anymore. So my goal is definitely to be, I want to lose a whole person. The weight that I want to lose is a person, and I'm going to do it.
Devonta's always drunk.
They call me an alcoholic. The baby.
Do that.
You ain't seen no alcoholic yet.
Look, ain't it?
Sick people in this group.
Well, shut
Sick people.
What does Devonta do when he gets drunk? He gets loud and belligerent. You look a drunk, hot mess, and you look like a piece of church's chicken on steroids.
I'm beyond annoyed. Devonta keep taking these drinks.
Oh, we getting drunk. It's too much.
Is there anybody in particular who you would like to be there?
Of course, the only person that would be missing is my father. And of course, if he was with us here, he would be there. It may be weird to some, but, and I didn't mention this earlier, but this was one of the factors for my aha moment. So my dad passed away of stomach cancer. Very rare. He was very healthy. No problems at all whatsoever. So long story short, he was diagnosed with stomach cancer. In about 6 months, he had passed away. Basically, the type of procedure that he endured is something very similar to mine. Because, of course, they had to remove the cancer, which, it covered a lot of the stomach area. So basically it led to a lack of nutrition. So he was basically like malnutritious. He was basically unable to eat a lot of things because of the chemo and the radiation would make him sick and nauseous and stuff. He wouldn't do like the protein shakes or anything like that. And it's because of the taste. And he was a very proud man. So I think it was just one of those things where he thought that he could do it on his own because he had already accomplished and conquered so many things. I had never seen him that small. My dad died and he probably weighed about 80 pounds around there. So we would do exercises and I would help him exercise his legs and his arms and stuff just to keep this blood flowing. And I just couldn't believe how small he had gotten and the lack of nutrition and how bad a person can basically disintegrate due to a lack of nutrition. And it caused a lot of feelings because I felt like, oh my goodness, my dad is struggling with stomach cancer. He can't eat anything. He wants to eat, but he can't. And here I am. I can eat everything and anything, and I won't stop eating. And so it triggered a lot of emotions with me being overweight at that time. You would think that in that moment, that would have been my time to make some changes, but it wasn't. Basically, I knew how important it was for me to lose weight for my dad, my parents, but really in particular my dad. And it's mainly because he knows so many people and he's affected so many people's lives. And when he got out of surgery, I'll never forget, he stands in this one spot of our kitchen in the corner, and he lifted his shirt up, and my boyfriend was here with me, and I think that's part of the reason why he started, being so aggressive with wanting me to lose weight at that time too, because I was smoking and I was overweight, and I didn't know that my dad was not gonna be here anymore. But anyway, he lifted his shirt up, and of course I saw his incisions that didn't heal like they should have due to a lack of nutrition. And he was just like, you need to do something. And you need to do something now. And even in that moment, I just kind of brushed it off. And it was very important to him. And so I know that, you know, this journey is going to be great. And it may not mean a lot to some people, but I'm so excited to be able to share my story and my results. And no one has ever seen those pictures. So I'm very excited to share those. And I've planned this whole walk with the foundation, No Stomach for Cancer. And I'm just excited because I'm not just doing this for me. I feel like I'm doing it for him as well. So I'm very excited about that. And of course, I know he'll be there, you know, with me in spirit. But it makes me feel better that he's more proud than anything, that I've decided to take control of my life.
Next time on Traces of My Lipstick.
Been anxious. I couldn't sleep last night. I didn't go to sleep till about 3 o'clock in the morning. You want me to leave it on or no? Okay. I left the keys in there.
Whoa. It's been a year and a half. Like, she looks like my friend. Like, she looks good. Like, I don't want to lose no more weight. I told her, don't lose no more weight.
I'm kind of disappointed. I wish I was, weighed a little less, but I am proud of where I am because I'm not where I was, and I have definitely made a lot of progression.